When your body signals the need to relieve itself, it's an urgent call that can't be ignored. But what happens when this happens to a professional footballer in the middle of a game? Let's explore how some players have handled this natural bodily function during matches. Here are 6 footballers who've had to use the toilet during a game. The first example involves Sergio Ramos, who posted a picture of himself celebrating a winning goal with Ronaldo, accompanied by the caption "Nature calls and back in." Although he had to take a quick break, there's no need to worry about hygiene. Ramos definitely took the time to wash his hands before returning to the pitch. But if you're concerned about hand washing, you may want to brace yourself for the next example. Number 2. Gary Lineker. During the 1990 World Cup in Italy, Gary Lineker was feeling unwell before England's opening game. However, he decided to push through and play without informing the manager of his condition for fear of being dropped. Lineker was determined to represent his country, but this decision turned out to be a bad idea. At around 20 minutes into the game, he started experiencing cramps, but managed to make it to halftime, thinking he would be fine from there. However, in the second half, the cramping returned, and Lineker knew he was in trouble. While trying to block a ball, he stretched out and fell to the ground, where he had an unfortunate accident. His teammate Gary Stevens came to help and discovered the situation, with Lineker admitting that he had soiled himself. Lineker tried to clean himself on the pitch and even wiped his hands on the grass before attempting to continue playing. The smell was so strong that he had to be taken off. Adding insult to injury, the tunnel wasn't located beside the dugout, forcing Lineker to sit on the bench until the game was over. Even though Lineker scored 4 goals in the tournament and helped England reach the semi-finals, the internet couldn't forget his unfortunate incident. It just goes to show that a single mistake can leave a lasting impression. Number 3. Eric Dyer. During a 2020 EFL Cup game against Chelsea, Eric Dyer had to leave the pitch in the second half due to a call of nature. His manager at the time, Jose Mourinho, followed him to the tunnel to try and persuade him to return to the field, but there was nothing he could do. After a brief absence, Dyer returned and helped his team win the game on penalties, with Lamela scoring the equalizer in the 83rd minute. Despite being named man of the match, Dyer humorously presented the award to the true hero of the game, the toilet. Gary Lineker even took the opportunity to poke fun at his own previous incident, jokingly wondering why players don't do their business on the pitch anymore. Number 4. Jens Lehmann. As a goalkeeper, Jens Lehmann faced a difficult situation when he needed to relieve himself during a game. Unlike outfield players who can easily run off the pitch, goalkeepers have to either be substituted or halt the entire game. To handle the situation, Lehmann quickly jumped over the advertising board behind the goal while the game was going on and appeared to be urinating. He timed it perfectly because as soon as he jumped back onto the pitch, he was facing an attacking move from the opponents. His club's director of sports praised him for handling it expertly, but the club's management says that he was lucky not to receive a booking. The question remains, what else could Lehmann have done? What would you have done if you were in his shoes? Number 5. Ronaldo Nazario. During his peak years, Ronaldo Nazario was regarded as the best footballer on the planet and the most lethal striker the sport had ever seen. He had incredible ball control and was virtually unstoppable. He proved this once again during an Olympic football match between Brazil and Hungary. After the European team scored an equalizer and were celebrating, Ronaldo calmly picked up the ball and sat in the middle of the pitch and began urinating, using the ball for cover. This act demonstrated his complete control over the ball and the game. Although cameras caught him in the act, Ronaldo didn't deny it during the post-match conference. But really, what could anyone do about it? He was Ronaldo after all. Number 6. Johan Cruyff. There are several versions of the story of Johan Cruyff needing to relieve himself during a match between Barcelona and Valencia in 1978. One version of the story states that Cruyff was suffering from diarrhea and had to relieve himself during the match, causing a temporary stoppage in play. Another version claims that he simply had to urinate and did so on the field. Despite the various versions of the story, Cruyff himself denied that he had ever relieved himself on the field during the match. However, the incident has become a part of football lore and is often mentioned in discussions about the more unusual moments in football history. Regardless of whether or not the incident actually occurred, It's a testament to the enduring popularity of Johan Cruyff that his name is still being mentioned in connection with football stories more than 40 years after he retired from the game. Number 7. Daniel Alves. During the second half of the match between Barcelona and Villarreal on April 5, 2015, Dani Alves suddenly ran off the pitch and disappeared into the tunnel. The incident caused a bit of confusion among fans and commentators, with some speculating that the Brazilian defender might have picked up an injury or had been subbed off. However, it soon emerged that Alves simply needed to use the toilet urgently and had run off the pitch to do so. The incident gained a lot of attention on social media, with fans sharing videos and memes of Alves running off the pitch. After the match, Alves confirmed that he had indeed needed to use the toilet and even joked about the incident on social media. In a tweet, he wrote, "I really needed a poo, ha ha ha, hashtag myths busted." The incident has become a popular topic among football fans and is often cited as an example of the humorous and unpredictable side of the sport. Number 8. Robbie Savage. Robbie Savage had an iconic bathroom moment that couldn't be ignored, even though it happened before the kickoff and not during the game like the other entries. In 2002, Savage, who played for Leicester City, urgently needed to use the bathroom due to diarrhea caused by the antibiotics he was taking for an injury on his leg. The closest toilet was designed for the referee, but Savage ignored it and used it anyway. It was reported to the FA by the center referee Graham Poll, who fined Savage £10,000 for not flushing the toilet. However, in his 2010 autobiography, Savage admitted that he also didn't wash his hands after using the restroom, making him deserving of another fine. Come on, Robbie, that was savage. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you urgently needed to use the restroom during a critical moment, such as an exam or even a job interview? If so, we welcome you to share your own experience with us in the comments section below. Rest assured that this is a judgment-free zone. If you found this video entertaining or informative, please give it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any more updates from our channel in the future. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.